Hi everyone, over the past few years we've seen a massive increase in the population here in Ireland. The population currently stands about 5.5 million people. We see mass immigration causing chaos in working class communities, and at the same time we see more and more young people leaving our shores because they can't afford to live here or see a future in Ireland because of the accommodation costs, the cost of living disaster, and many more economic issues are manufactured by the political establishment. And of course, those in Irish society benefit from a lot of these policies. Those benefit from the immigration chaos, and of course they push the mass immigration agenda. And many of those as well control the media, who don't question any narrative and are just waiting in line before they get a job as a press advisor for one of the government ministers. So essentially what they are is just propagandists for the establishment in Ireland. We've seen that with RTE, for instance, 725 million that are going to be offered over the next 3 years for pushing the government's narrative. Now, what's very important over the last few years, we've seen a massive increase, according to the Central Statistics Office, of foreign nationals being living here. Over 20% of the populations were born outside Ireland, and as well the amount of PPS numbers issued have gone off the charts in the last few years. 1.3 million PPS numbers have been issued in Ireland since 2015 to non-Irish nationals. Now, nearly 750,000, 736,000 were issued to non-EU nationals. This is a massive figure, but we all know mass immigration, who it benefits. It benefits the big employers, it benefits the commercial property owners, and of course it benefits the ruling classes, who like to keep ordinary people down by pushing down wages, pushing down conditions for ordinary people. And of course, when they control so much of the media, it's very easy to push on their narrative as well, because that's very important. But then more people are looking at social media and different platforms to get real news and facts out there to what's really going on in our society. So today I want to speak about a few issues around the PPS numbers that were issued. Back in 2016 or 15, there was 168,000 PPS numbers issued. 28,000 were to non-EU nationals. Now, of that, people will be familiar with the Brazilians, a lot of Brazilian communities that have come to live here as students as well. They work in very low paid jobs, such as Deliveroo, and they're being forced into overcrowded conditions. Many live 15 to 20 in a house, paying a fortune to rack rent and landlords, slum landlords as well. And this is all carrying on in Ireland as well, where ordinary people are struggling to get a home. And of course, who benefits? The very wealthy, the big corporations like Deliveroo. And as well, at the same time, we've seen a massive increase in the amount of visas being issued to people from other countries, such as India. Back in 2015, there was 3,100 PPS numbers issued to people from India. And then in 2022, it was up to 21,000. Massive amount. And of course, we know that's fueling the companies like Intel and many of these big tech companies who are profiting from the mobility of labour and working, have more foreign nationals to come into Ireland to work in these higher paid jobs. Then they buy up a lot of these apartments and homes that are here to keep accommodation costs high and rents high as well, because many block book apartments through their work permit scheme as well, working in tandem with these agencies that work with big corporations. And of course, many of this come through the so-called illegal routes or so-called safe countries. Countries like Algeria are up 230%, Bangladesh 267%, Georgia up nearly 1,000%. And of course we know about the figures of those, and the migration pact that was pushed through by Helen McEntee when she was Minister for European Affairs, and of course Deputy Leader of the European People's Party, that's von der Leyen's party in the European Union, and Fine Gael are part of that, pushing this agenda too. And as well, at the same time, we've seen other countries such as Ukraine, in terms of the Ukrainian crisis and the war in Ukraine. Back in 2022, I think there was about 62,000 or 68,000 rather, PPS numbers were issued to people from Ukraine. Now, of course, this benefits again the big employers, benefits those to keep wages down, many working in low paid jobs, and especially when accommodation is being paid for. You can work at lower rates as well, but the unions are completely silent in this because they've been bought and captured as part of the system, and they won't stand up for the interests of workers. Ireland's a low wage economy. 1 in 5 workers are on low pay. There's big arguments every day over the minimum wage and the impacts of it. Many people in the minimum wage should be taken out of the tax net, and of course they aren't. So it's more prohibitive, for instance, people working on very low pay, And this suits the big employers. Well, the inequalities get deeper in Irish society, where you look at the top 10% in society have about 30 to 40% of the wealth, and 2 billionaires have the same wealth as the bottom 50% of society. So this is all manufactured, and it's gaslighting the public into what's really taking place. And of course, it's easier to control a society and to push along with a narrative when they have people of many different nationalities dispersing communities. And of course, Thatcher said there was no such thing as community and wanted to do away with it. So it's very important in terms of the analysis to what's really taking place in Irish society through these PPS numbers, and who's benefiting and what's the reality on the ground with ordinary people. So thanks for supporting my videos, really appreciate them. Please subscribe to my channel, please keep sharing my videos, and thanks to everybody who is supporting me through buying me a coffee as well. So from Dublin, Slán go fóill, take care, see you all soon, bye bye.